Hey, how's it going, everybody? In this video, I wanted to talk about my thoughts on the difference between changing the financial system from within versus changing it externally, and specifically what the difference is in this respect between Bitcoin and XRP in the cryptocurrency world. So, there's a phrase that some of us may have heard before called infiltration over invasion. And there's also, I think, a concept of alchemically changing a situation from within versus trying to externally force a change upon a system. And so when we're talking about how cryptocurrency is going to shape the world, there's fundamentally a different way that Bitcoin adoption versus XRP adoption is driving this change in the financial system. And we know the financial system is changing without a doubt, right? Like there's all these things going on in the world. There's certain countries that are taking Bitcoin now. XRP is partnered with banks, but really, how does this all match up? And so I want to give some clarity on this for people that might not understand the deeper picture. And when we go to infiltration over invasion, I think that is, for one, kind of an intelligence tactic, but it's also this spiritual concept, like I was saying, of alchemically changing from within rather than trying to force. And so with Bitcoin, the adoption of Bitcoin, I don't think will ever take place on a worldwide scale because it's coming from the outside. It's trying to take on the old system and create conflict with it. It's trying to create a polarity with the old system and take it head on. And I don't see any way that the entire planet would ever adopt a currency like Bitcoin in that fashion because there's already too many people who are opposed to it. And so you would need to force people to use something that they don't want to use. And that's not the way, right? That doesn't respect free will. That's not the righteous path. And when we compare that to what XRP is doing, XRP is changing the system from within. They are, in my opinion, Trojan horsing the central banking dynasties. So you have this technology that is XRP, which even on a technological level, we cover this in my Conscious Crypto Academy. If you guys are interested in joining this, we cover this in a lot more detail. But from a technology standpoint, XRP is far more superior than Bitcoin. It's extremely fast, 2 to 4 seconds. You can send millions, billions of dollars for less than a penny in fees. Bitcoin, if you've ever tried to even send $100, usually takes an hour to get there, sometimes more, and you're going to be paying a lot of fees to actually get it there. It's not the same thing with XRP. XRP is extremely efficient. It's green. Bitcoin sucks all this energy. There's these technological differences. But on the adoption phase, XRP is Trojan horsing this old system. So they're basically, Ripple, the company, as being the largest developers on the XRP ledger, they are the ones that are pushing the mass adoption of it inside the current financial system. So they're going in and they are talking to the central banks. And I believe what they're basically saying behind closed doors is, look, we have this technology, this XRP blockchain technology. It is by far the most efficient, the most decentralized, and the cheapest cryptocurrency technology out there for payment systems, for sending money from A to B, whether you're people to people like us or you're institution to institution, government to government, whatever. It services everybody. And so I believe they're going to these central banking dynasties, very much like the way that Mr. T went around after he became Prez and, met with all these foreign nations and made these deals. It's a very similar energy to that. And changing the system from within is a far more efficient method because you don't need to get the public to actually adopt it. When you think about, for instance, the older generations, our grandparents' generations, who are not going to easily, in mass, be able to adopt new technologies. The easier way to get new technologies into the infrastructure of society is to change them from within, to alchemically change the system from within. And that's what XRP is doing. So you won't need to say actually own XRP to be able to utilize the superpowers, if you will, that it's bringing to the financial system. And what I mean by that is, if your parents or your grandma or your cousin or whoever, if they're not into crypto, their banks are still going to be using XRP, and it's going to make their lives so much more efficient. So all of a sudden, your family member is going to get an email one day from their bank saying, we have this new liquidity corridor. We have this new liquidity hub. We are no longer bound by, the time infrastructure of payments, or if you own a business, cross-border payments. We're bound by Wall Street's 9 to 5, if you're an investment, when the stock market closes. Like all these things are dependent upon timeframes. So imagine a system where you're able to send money, you're able to invest, you're able to do anything you want in the financial world 24/7 with no friction. You're able to move value seamlessly around the planet. You're able to send money to your relatives in another country instantly for extremely cheap. You don't need to go to the bank. You don't need to deal with all this stuff. So to me, this is like a really important concept about changing the financial system from within and the mass adoption for the technology coming from that versus, what Bitcoin's doing and the people that are pushing the mass adoption of Bitcoin, really just trying to tackle the old financial system and like create this aggression with the old financial system. And this is just something that's been coming to mind a lot. So yeah, if you resonate with this, drop a comment, let me know what you think. I think this is a very esoteric concept within itself of alchemy versus taking polarity head on in that way. I liken it to being like the shadow self, when we are doing shadow work, if you will, when we're going in, or, if you've ever done plant ceremonies, plant medicines, where you're faced with your shadows, you realize in those moments, you can't run from your shadow. And that's what people spend their whole lives doing a lot of times, running from their shadows, hiding from it, drinking, taking drugs, trying to suppress their shadows. It doesn't work. What works is understanding the shadow of the self and integrating it alchemically within the self, accepting it and transmuting it from within. And to me, that is the energy of XRP. It is the transmutation energy of the system. It is the change or the flower that will blossom, rather than, the war of trying to battle one financial system against the other and which one's the best. Everything is one, right? And so the change will come from within. And this is why I resonate with XRP and I don't resonate with Bitcoin and a lot of these other, popular cryptocurrencies like Ethereum as well. Don't resonate with it. XRP to me is what you could call God's money. It's the one that's the most reflective of the God consciousness. It is the most simple, it is the most straightforward, and I think it's an inevitable technology in a way, kind of like the internet. Whether it's called XRP or it's called something else, I think that this technology has been used by other civilizations developing, their infrastructural systems that have gotten to the same point that we have in similar kinds of systems that we find ourselves in right now. And even though ultimately I think our goal in our human evolution is to move beyond forms of, money, I do think that, for one, this is a transition phase for us, but also that in the future, if we ever, say, develop the technology to print gold, like if we're in a Star Trek society, right? And you can print gold, you can print, you have replicators, you can make anything you want. Physical material things have no more value anymore if anyone can just go print as much gold as they want. So what has value? Well, what has value is time, energy, human creative energy versus AI. These are the things that are going to have value. And so in that system, when we're at that point, who knows how many years that is in the future, could be, hundreds, thousands, could be a lot closer than we think. But in that system where we have no more scarcity, it will still be very useful for us to have a unit of measurement for energy exchange for services and creative input. And that's where I think something like XRP and an artificially scarce digital currency will actually have more value and purpose than it even does in today's system. Because if you can print as much gold as you want or mine as much from other planets, gold is no longer going to have any kind of value in terms of trade and energy exchange. But if you can create something arbitrary, like a digital currency that is, run by the people, governed by the people, and unanimously agreed upon by the people, then that can be a unit of measurement for energy exchange between two parties. And so this is where I think this is ultimately going. But yeah, overall, really the point I wanted to drive home is that there's a difference between changing the financial system from within versus externally trying to force it. And yeah, I think that's all I really had in this message. So again, I'd love to hear your ideas, your comments about this. Please drop them below. And if you guys want to learn about XRP, if you're ready to invest, if you're ready to get into this new financial system, if you're ready to move your savings or your retirement funds, your stocks, I have tons and tons of people coming to me right now because they're seeing what's going on with XRP. They're seeing that XRP is the only cryptocurrency in the United States with full legal clarity, actual legal law written clarity, and that it's being mass adopted around the world in these systems right now. And people are seeing that and they're feeling the call to it. They're feeling the nudge from spirit. It's time. So if you're feeling that, that's what I'm here to do. That's the service I'm providing right now. You can apply to join my Conscious Crypto Academy. The link is, if you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. You can send me a DM. If you're on YouTube, the link will be down in the description below. And you can basically book a free call with me. We'll talk about where you're at, where your goals are. We'll see if the program's a good fit for you. And if it is, we'll get you in that day so you can get started. And this is also kind of a call to action because I don't think there's much time left for this. This new financial system will bring prosperity for all, but there is a particular opportunity available at this moment in investing in this new financial system before it is mass adopted that will enable, I think, the people who are meant to have the money to be able to create the change that we've been waiting for so long. And what I mean by that is I've noticed this phenomena where it seems source or God or spirit is putting these opportunities and the money in the hands of those individuals that are actually going to be service to others and use it to change the planet for the better. And we've externalized for so long this concept of the savior complex, whether it's a president or an aliens or, Elon Musk or whoever it is coming and solving all our problems for us. I truly believe we are our own saviors. And as the Hopi prophecy says, we are the ones we've been waiting for. So I believe this opportunity with this new financial system and specifically with XRP is God's source spirit giving us the tools that we need to actually embody and be the change that we've been waiting for others to do for us for so long. So now it's our time. We're the ones that are going to be empowered to do it. And I think that's the most beautiful way that it can happen. So if you're ready to be a part of this and you're feeling activated by this message, please apply to join Conscious Crypto Academy. We'd love to have you in there. We have an international group of students from literally all over the world, countries from all over the world, Australia, the UK, European countries, United States, of course, Canada, Mexico, all over. So we get a really cool, international perspective on what's going on. And we meet every week. We have coaching calls where we talk about what's going on in the world. We talk about all the geopolitical events, the disclosures, the spiritual happenings and changes that are ongoing. And we tie it in with what's going on with crypto. And our group is just so unique and incredible. I think that, if you're watching this, you're meant to be in there and it will resonate with you. And so, even if the money is not there for you right now, we will figure out a way. To me, this is about getting this message out there and getting people on board with this. So money is flexible. We'll figure that out. But it's important, I think, if you're feeling activated and called to this, that you take action upon it and you will be rewarded for it, I believe. So again, thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, drop them down below and I'll see you guys another time. Much love.